Welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Nguyen. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to go over some common multifamily terms in hopes to kind of simplify it in a way that you can understand, right? So, and I want to tie that into how to value multifamily real estate. So the first term you need to know is net operating income, right? So your net operating income is your gross annual income minus your gross annual expense. And whatever that is your net operating income, or NOI for short, right? So how do you find this information? You're going to find this on something called a T12. A T12 is a profit and loss statement for the past 12 months. And your multifamily lender or commercial lender would typically ask for this document, right? It's T12 is a fancy way of saying your profit and loss statement. So how much income did you get? What's your expense? And they want to see that breakdown, right? So they want to see month to month for the past 12 months. Is your income going up? Is it going down? If the income is going up, why is that? Are you renovating units and renting them out? If it's going down, what's going on? Are you have bad management, right? Are you evicting a lot of tenants? So they want to look at the history. Expenses, they want to see, okay, are you paying the water? Are you paying electricity? What's your property tax? What's your property insurance? Like, what's your management fee? Are these expenses one time, or are they recurring for maintenance, right? So what the lender is looking at is trying to look at what's your total income and the trend of your income, what's your expense, and what are your big one-time expenses. And from there, they calculate something called the net operating income to see how the property is doing, so they know that the property can pay for the loan, right? So now that you know your net operating income, next you want to know what the market cap rate is. So the market cap rate stands for capitalization rate. And basically what that tells you is how much that property will cash flow, right? So if you have a 2 cap market, typically it's less cash flow, more appreciation. If you're in a 10 cap market, you have higher cash flow, less appreciation. Because what happens is the value of multifamily is based on the net operating income divided by the market cap rate, right? So the market cap rate is typically public information. You can typically Google it, right? So California might be, let's say, a 3 cap market. Birmingham, Alabama might be a 6 cap market, and Oklahoma may be an 8 cap market. So what does that mean? For every, let's just say, $10,000 that you increase your net operating income, if you're in a 2 cap market, it's going to increase the value a lot higher, because you do 10,000 divided by 2%, right? And what is that? Let me calculate that real quick for the sake of this example. So let's say you increase your net operating income by $10,000 a year, and then you divide that by a 2 cap. You basically increase the value of your property by $500,000. So you take 10,000 divided by 0.02. So just by increasing your NOI by $10,000 in a 2 cap market, you just forced $500,000 in equity. Now take that same $10,000 and let's just say you are in a 6 cap market. So you're going to divide by 0.06, and you just only increased the value by about 167K, right? And now if you were in a 10 cap market, you take 10,000 divided by 0.1 for 10%, you increase the value by $100,000. So in this example, you saw just by increasing the NOI by 10K, well, if you're in a lower cap market, the value increases a lot more significantly versus a 10 cap market, which increases less, right? So remember, the lower the cap rate, less cash flow, but you can have more appreciation. In a higher cap rate market, you have more cash flow, but less appreciation per NOI increase, right? So, that's why I invested in multiple markets. California, low cap rates. Oklahoma, high cap rates. So they balance each other out. One market is high cash flow, low appreciation. The other market is no cash flow, high appreciation. And they balance each other out, right? So those are your terms. The next term is something called a rent roll. So a rent roll is a fancy way of saying in your 26 units, how many are occupied? Like, who lives in unit number 1? What's their rent? Who lives in unit number 2? What's their rent? Who lives in unit number 3? What's their rent? When does the lease start? When does the lease end? How much security deposit do they pay? What's your total monthly rent? And are there any delinquencies? right? So these are the things that the lender will ask for, and it's good for you to know because you don't want to take over a property when everyone's lease ends on the same day, right? Imagine you own 26 units and on the same month, all the leases expire, right? The banks don't like that, right? So that's another big term. Another term is called DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. So this is how lenders typically will look at your property to see how it does. So lenders want a debt service coverage ratio of 1.25. What does that mean? That means that they want your net operating income, which is your income minus expense, to be 25% greater than the monthly debt service payment. What is the monthly debt service payment? That's how much you pay every single month, and that depends on how much down payment you do. So how much down are you putting? Are you putting typically 25% down? What's your remaining loan amount? So let's just say it's $75,000. And then from there, what's your interest rate? What's your amortization schedule? Right. So let me go into amortization schedule next. But from there, you get your monthly debt service payment. So let's just say your monthly debt service payment is $100,000 or $10,000 or $1,000 a month. Your net operating income must be 25% higher than that. So your net operating income must be at least $1,250 if your monthly debt service is $1,000 a month. And they want that because they want to know that you can cover the property, can self-sustain itself and cover the loan, right? So from there, in order to hit the DSCR greater than 1.25, either A, you have to do a lower price, right, to do a lower loan, to get a lower loan amount, or do a larger down payment to fulfill that need, right? So for me, I prefer to do a lower price versus doing a larger down payment to leverage, right? So you know those terms. At that point, you need to know what's your cash on cash return, right? So cash on cash return is how much money did you put in the deal, and what is your net cash flow after your expenses, after your debt service, and after your reserves, right? So let's just say for simplicity, I have $10,000 a month in income. My expense is $5,000, which is 50%, which is usually about right. So I have $5,000 NOI. My debt service, let's just say, is $3,000 for simplicity. So I have $2,000 net, and I want to save $500 a month for reserves for a rainy day. So I have $1,500. And you times that by 12, right? So you times that by 12. So 1,500 times 12. So your cash flow is $18,000 a month. And let's just say you bought this property for $1 million. I'm just making up numbers. You put 25% down, so you're all in for $250K. So you take your $18,000 and you want to divide that by $250K. So roughly your cash on cash return is about 7%, which is okay. It's not bad, right? That's not including depreciation, appreciation, tax write-offs, all that stuff, right? So that's just cash on cash return. Another thing that you want to look at is the price per door. So if you bought it for, let's say you bought a 25 unit apartment complex for $1 million, you just take the $1 million, all right, and then you're going to divide that by 25. So that's about $40,000 per door. And once you know the price per door, you can see how much is the rent per unit. So if, let's just say you have $1 million property, that's 25 units, it's $40K per door, and it rents for $400 per door. To calculate the rule, so you want to take your rent, 400, and you want to divide that by 40,000. So that's the 1% rule. So that's when you hear the 1%, that's what they mean, right? So does the price per door and the rent that you get per door equal more than 1%? If so, typically it's going to cash flow well, right? So these are some basic multifamily terms that you need to get started in real estate, right? Let me know if you have questions below. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible in a 10-minute video that's digestible. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. If you're interested in joining the Making Multifamily Money Mentorship Program, to learn more, check out the description down below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with somebody who's interested in getting into multifamily real estate. Thank you so much.